friends, welcome back to another episode of Creating Things Together. I am Christina, and across from me is a guy named James Red. I married him, I don't know why, but together we create things together. We make these podcasts every week. I just got back in town. I was in Taipei for the last week. Yippity-doo. James went to Moab and did a bunch of photo things, and in this episode, we're going to talk about that. So, buckle up, kids.
Right on the magic school bus.
Beep, 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 beep.
That was that was PBS production, wasn't it?
That was a dope. Yeah, that was like the best thing to come from publicly funded anything.
It's one of the few PBS productions that I interacted with as a kid.
Yeah.
And I would go to the library and they had a game.
What's a library?
It's like this thing where you buy like pills. But I would go there, and they had computers there.
Mm-hmm. Why do we always make drug references? Guys, we don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
Because drug references are so funny.
Okay.
Like high jokes and drug jokes are some of my favorite, because it's really hard to make a bad drug joke.
Well. By the silence, I feel like it is possible to make bad
I was
drug
just thinking
jokes.
about how drugs are applied on our society, and how nobody should ever go to the library because it's just a dangerous place. But I used to go there as a kid. There was a computer, and I would play a Magic School Bus game. I have great memories from it.
Well, right on the Magic School Bus, kids.
Exactly.
So
not like in the youth way where you like ride on the Magic School Bus, but the child way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
All right.
And it's good that you don't.
All right. Yeah. Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
Hey, Christina, what are we talking about today?
Oh my gosh. I said what we were talking about. We're talking about Taipei.
That's right.
I went to Taiwan. I got back yesterday. I had 2 Fridays, and one of them was spent completely asleep. I was so exhausted. And the entire trip was fantastic. Honestly, I was a bit nervous to go, and it was very silly. I think the media just kind of seeped into my brain, and Taipei was the complete opposite of what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be this place where hooligans go, and I was nervous about getting out of the airport and all of that stuff. Taipei is like it's like a clean Las Vegas, like Las Vegas without any of the STDs. So Taipei, we have to go
school bus riding.
Yeah, no school bus riding.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You have to go with me. You have to go. And I want to bring you to the hotel that we were at, except for the hotel was like $350 a night.
Okay.
So we're going to spend one night at the hotel just so you can have the experience of the breakfast.
Great. And
then after that, we're going to go to like hostels and stuff.
Sounds good.
But Taipei was fantastic. I was there with a fellow YouTube creator / friend / internet homie, Sara Dietschy. I was helping her document her trip out there with Intel. There was an event called Computex, and all sorts of technology was happening. They were announcing
A8, 9, and 10 processors.
So many processors, and so much potential for the future. But yeah, I was there helping her film, and I want to tell you about the trip because I haven't actually told you. Like you, I'm talking to James, not to you listeners.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you. Get out of here,
yeah, guys.
You're not invited.
Skip forward to
the end.
Skip forward to 20 minutes. This is for me and Christina only.
Ooh. I've been really trying
baby, to tell you about my trip to Taipei.
Yeah.
And if you feel
like I feel,
baby, yeah, come on. Hey, come on. Let's get it on in Asia. What?
Okay. So, are you ready to hear?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that this is our first. I feel like this is our first sit down, look at each other in the eyes, legitimate conversation since you got home.
Okay.
Because we just worked.
So. No, that's not true. We weren't just out here hustling, guys. James was getting on my last nerves. The second I got off of the plane, I said, hey, I'm in.
We broke a record, man.
We break within 30 seconds of speaking to each other. We were disagreeing about something so stupid. James said that he was at departures. And I know that you said that you were at departures because you didn't say arrivals. And I was like,
maybe I got them backwards.
Yeah, maybe you did. And he was trying to convince me about how he didn't say departures and he'd said arrivals, and I was like, this is not important. Can you just pick me up?
We broke a record because it was like it was a phone call. And I was sitting in the line of cars for whatever reason. Salt Lake City International Airport was incredibly busy this day compared to normal. It's a great airport normally, but I mean, it's still a great airport. But we were on the phone, and it was like 11 seconds, and we were arguing about something.
Yeah, I was like, "Can you just pick me up? I'm not in the mood for you today."
I said to you, I was like, I'll make it there. We're good.
Yeah, just figure it out. I didn't know where he was coming from, so I was like looking all over the place for him, but it's fine. It worked out. That's the joy of marriage. You just go like, I'm so tired of this person. I'm going back to Taipei. But thank you for picking me up. I appreciate it. Would have been a long walk.
Yes.
So yeah, this is our first like talkie about the week.
Yes.
Where should I start?
Well, I would love to know what your first impressions. When did you first go? Okay, I'm in Taipei. I'm surrounded by Taiwanese, a Taiwanese world.
Okay. When did I think that?
Yeah, when were you like, I'm here, like this is big?
When I got into the car, like the car that picked me and Sarah up.
Okay.
I was like, we were escorted. Our shuttle was a Mercedes S-Class with Wi-Fi in it. And that kind of sets the tone for the entire week. I thought like, oh, shuttle to and from the airport. I'm going to be sitting like in this like sweaty van on the way to an airport. Like
with a blindfold on. With
a blindfold on. No big deal. It's just whatever.
For a tech conference.
But no, Intel treated us real right. So yeah, it was the car ride, and I was like, wow, this place like has this amazing highway system, and like there are trees and montañas everywhere. I was stoked. I was excited to get there. The hotel was fantastic. It was the Humble House Hotel, and I'm pretty sure.
Was there a pool on the roof?
There was a pool on the roof.
Did you ever go there?
I didn't, honestly. And
wow.
I really regret it. There was one of my English...
I thought you're like you know how you have an equilibrium in your head? Mm-hmm. Like I thought that there would be a mechanism in your brain that would pull yourself towards water.
Well, honestly, that's one thing, and maybe we'll talk about it in this podcast, but there's certain parts of me that like I'm not jazzed about that. It's like, oh, well, if other people don't want to go see it, then I won't go see it. But...
social
I'm an extrovert.
Forces.
No, I'm just an extrovert, and like I want to go where the people are.
Yeah.
And if there are no people in the pool, then why would I go there by myself? Mm-hmm. Who does that? But I have British friends now, a couple British chaps. Mm-hmm. Tom the tech chap and James Matthews. And James told me about the pool on the roof, and I was like, oh sweet, I haven't been out there yet. And he was up there, but I was editing a video downstairs.
These English love roof pools.
Yeah, very very English.
You know, one thing about English people, particularly under the age of 50, they love roof pools.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I now do. Yeah. Thank you, James.
Yeah, it's if you like do like a Bing search, not Google, it won't tell you.
Does anybody use Bing? Like, what is Bing?
Well, that's why most people don't know that
the
English people under 50 love roof pools.
Yeah.
But yes, nobody uses Bing. 12.
Yeah. It's Taipei was fantastic. It's a clean Las Vegas. It's a very clean, open, like their road systems are really interesting because they have like cars, but they also have a ton of mopeds. And like if you go to a red light, you have two lanes. They actually drive on the same side of the road as we do. In the right lane, way up front, there's like this like 15 foot by 15 foot square. And that's where all of the mopeds go to sit at the red light. So they'll like weave through traffic and they all sit in that one spot.
They have their own pocket?
They have their own pocket.
Whoa.
So, and it like the walkways were really cool. Didn't seem like people were so freaking nice there. And it's probably because like I'm this American that like is traveling, and I was in the middle of a city and it was a really nice hotel, but people were so nice. I got a survey, and I used to work at places
like hotel workers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, hotel workers, okay. But everyone really.
Yeah.
But I got a survey to like, hey, rate the hotel, and I gave them like all like excellence because they were so good.
There's two interesting things that like phenomenons that I can't quite explain. It doesn't make sense that it would happen this way. Where, well, for one, I hear that in Singapore, it's also very clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear that in Singapore, like there's some. Anyway, I hear it's incredibly clean, and something about certain cities in the world like prioritize cleanliness very well.
So they were in Taipei, at least the hotel that we were at. It was a very like future forward thinking hotel. It was very green in the sense of they care about
other
the
countries
environment.
put America to shame, I feel like.
No, honestly they do. Like their public Wi-Fi was amazing, but this hotel had a very like green initiative. So the way that you turned on the lights was you used your key for the hotel room and you put it in the slot and it turned on all the lights. And if you didn't put it in the slots, the lights just would never turn on.
Because what are you going to use the key for in the room?
Exactly.
Throw it to your friend as a game?
Yeah. So I thought that was amazing. I was like, and it makes you turn off the lights when you leave. So the toilet seats were heated. I don't even think I told you that. The toilet seats were heated,
Taiwan.
James. My buns were so warm every time I went to the bathroom.
Dude, heated toilet seats are something that the entire world needs to adopt.
Evidently, somebody from Taiwan told me that they take their toilets very seriously.
There's no reason.
It's like you like heated toilet seats is baseline, and then you have like all sorts
baseline.
You have all sorts of other specs. Like if I pressed a button, it would lift up the lid. If I pressed another button, it would lift up the lid and the toilet seat.
Oh yeah.
And then if you press it, and then it'll close it. I think it had a bidet, which I did not dabble with because I'm not trying to get toilet water on my butt. Yeah, because I just feel like that's
reasonable.
Gross,
you gotta be ready for that.
Yeah. So like the hotel was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I love freedom, but a heated toilet seat and buttons to like automatic toilets are something that the first world should have universally. Yeah. But what I was gonna say was that there's a thing about cleanliness with certain cities. In North Korea, it's very clean, but that's for different reasons.
Then speaking of North Korea, let me tell you a story.
Okay.
I get your point. Some countries make America seem like we're behind the times.
In certain ways,
In certain ways. But speaking of North Korea, there was a missile strike test. And I got the alert on my phone, and I did not know what was going on because everything was written in Mandarin.
That's a downfall.
So I hear
being in a country.
I hear like it's raining, and I hear
whoa.
And
wait, was it like distant?
No, it was.
Or was it in the building?
It was like a World War II documentary. It was distant. It was outside.
So it was like a tornado siren in the middle of Oklahoma or something.
Yeah. And it was so crazy. And I like look at my phone and I hear presidential missile warning. And
was it in English at all?
No, I'm sorry. I saw it. Oh. So I actually think I have a screenshot. Let's see.
Are they common there?
Yeah. Alert message. And then everything else was in Mandarin.
Whoa. Yeah.
So
I'm air raid drill.
Oh, and that's where the air raid drill ended. So there were 2 drills.
Holy crap.
So I look at my phone and then Sarah texted me and she said, what did she say? She said something along the lines of like
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. Goodbye.
This has been really great.
This has been a really good trip. We've only been here 3 hours. Thanks for coming with me. Goodbye.
Dude, that's nuts, man.
Yeah, so that was exciting. And I was like, do they like have missile warnings whenever it rains? Do they take rain very seriously here? But all in all,
air raid drill.
Yeah, that's something that we don't have in, at least here. Okay, here we go. Sarah, well, never mind, because the screenshot doesn't really say, but she's like, drill ? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. Goodbye. So that was a really fun welcome.
But did you film that? Did you get that on?
I didn't film the drill, but Sarah did, and I have that footage.
Oh, good. Okay.
So thank you, Sara Dietschy, for letting me use all of your video footage.
Crap. Oh, we have to tell them about the fire situation that happened here. I had my own quote unquote drill, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Guys, we'll get into the creative conversations in a minute. James and I are just catching up.
We were worried about not having enough to talk about. I think we're going to cover it.
Does that ever happen where we don't have enough to talk
well,
about?
I always worry about that we're going to get like 33 minutes and we're like, okay, we're done.
Then we'll just start playing like freaking Thumb War or Tic-Tac-Toe and
more Star Wars trivia. So the cleanliness thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is a preponderance of 2-wheeled motorized vehicles. I feel like all across the world, there are cities where motorcycles outnumber
motorcycles, mopeds, bicycles.
Right. But for whatever reason in America, we like cars.
Well, why don't we just
cars and trucks?
Instead of getting that new car, why don't we just buy a bicycle?
Bicycle.
Way less expensive.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get to downtown from here on a bicycle unless you want to get a little bit sweaty.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's interesting. I guess what's interesting to me is there's no reason why we shouldn't kind of be the same as the other countries. So it's like, what about the other countries makes motorcycles be so much more prominent, and also what makes people in the other countries avoid littering? Because in America we are not that great at it in some ways.
I wonder, wasn't the car like invented here or something?
Henry Ford?
Yeah, didn't he do something?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he like invented the car.
Either here or Germany, but I think it was here.
Yeah, no, well, that's an American name. So I think Henry Ford invented the car, so that's probably why cars
I think he invented the Model T, and I think that was the first car. Am I wrong?
Fun trivia, guys. Tweet us and let us know.
Help us out with that. But
where the car was
I think that's right.
made. I think that's probably why cars are popular here. Anyway, yeah, cars.
Okay, so all right, so that was, you arrived in Taiwan. Oh, how was your well, do you want me to talk about the fire thing really quick, and then we'll get into your flight and then the rest of Taiwan?
You do whatever you want.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So I've been writing this song recently. Just kidding.
Go ahead, give us a sample.
What, of the song?
Yeah, I want to hear it right now.
It's kind of too big for words at the moment.
Okay.
So, all right. So I woke up while she was there doing air raid drills. I had an ironically similar experience. Here, where I woke up we live in an apartment complex. There's a lot of different big buildings that are like 4 stories tall each. And my building happened to be the one where some hooligans were running around and screwing around with fire alarm buttons and stuff. So 12 o'clock-ish in the middle of the night, I had just entered a deep sleep, having a lovely sleep. And all of a sudden, this extremely loud alarm sounds just like that. That was it. It was like actually a voice. Wee woo.
Could you imagine?
And it was like this beeping sound. And you
better get your ass up. You gon' catch on fire. You better leave or else.
There was like in each of our major room sections, there's like a little speaker, like we have one on the wall right here. And that's where our fire alarm goes off. And I assume they'll let us know if they have like a pizza party at the lounge in the front or whatever too. But it was beeping. It was very loud.
Beep, beep. I am so loud.
I don't know if you guys have ever been woken up by a fire alarm, like a real one, coming out of a sleep into, holy crap, my building might be on fire. But it was startling to say the least. And my body was immediately filled with adrenaline. And so I'm just like...
His voice dropped 4 octaves.
Come
on, Cooper, we need to get out of here.
You want us to like move faster sometimes? We were just talking about that before this. Like,
maybe I'll just set an alarm.
That's a good way to get you to move fast. But there was a point where as I'm putting my clothes on and deciding what I'm going to take out of the building, that if it's on fire, I was shaking. Like I could feel my body shaking because I was just, get ready. Like I felt like the firefighter when they have to get ready for the thing. So I get up, I put clothes on, and then I gotta put long sleeves on because I don't want to be cold when I go outside.
Well, the good thing is if the building was on fire, you wouldn't have been.
That's I could just stand by the fire.
Yeah. S'mores.
So I get up, I'm going, I grab Cooper, put a leash on him. He's freaking out.
Which, thank you for doing that. James texted me.
She was worried I wouldn't bring our dog out.
Well,
fire.
You've done weirder things.
Listen.
He texted me and was like, there was a fire drill like in the apartment. And I said, did you take Cooper? Are you okay?
That was the first thing you asked.
And then the second thing that I asked was, did you bring the hard drives? And you didn't.
I didn't bring the hard drives.
How dare you?
Well, okay. I'll get more into my reasoning, but okay. Here's where I wouldn't take Cooper. if I need to jump out of a window to survive and Cooper's in the other room,
he would just sit there and wait for you to catch him.
I would open the door and give him his best shot at survival.
You're the worst.
But I mean, if I can't get to him in time, I got to save myself. I'm sorry. He's an animal. I love him to death, but he's an animal, right?
We're going to need to have a conversation after
you or
this.
Cooper, you. Sorry. He's great. But until he gets a job around here, I don't have much of a reason to save him. So anyway, we run out. He, like I said, he's freaking out. He's not having a good time. It's just beep, 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 beep. And then we go in the hallway, and it's much louder in the hallway. Like,
beep,
it's
beep,
much
beep.
more startling in the hallway. It's like you open the door, and you're like, oh, my gosh, my head. Like, it was really loud, and it's a different alarm in the hallway. So I run out. All the neighbors are leaving. Like, we have our neighbors.
Did other people have their dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Our neighbors across the way are like, they're just hanging out their door like, what's going on? But everybody left.
You're like, you guys better get out of here.
Everybody left the building. I mean, I opened the door and I didn't see smoke, so that was helpful. And another reason why I was not as concerned as I could be is, one, because I didn't see smoke. That's the first thing you look for, obviously. And two,
I look for fire.
Right, that's good. But where there's fire, there's smoke, Christina.
Where there's fire, there's
the
s'mores.
Aztec
And I like
say.
s'mores. This is taking way too long, James. Just tell me about your fire story.
Okay.
We got to talk about creative things.
Okay.
We should just start this over. We're like 20 freaking minutes in.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So yeah, some kids have been screwing around. I know some kids have been screwing around with the fire extinguishers at like 8 p.m. when I took Cooper out to walk. So there was that in the back of my head of like, somebody probably did this. Like, I don't think this is a real fire drill or real fire. But it wasn't a drill. It was an actual fire alarm. But nobody knew what was going on. Like, the firefighters got here and for 20 minutes, they had no idea what was going on.
How quick did the firefighters get? Like, were they pretty timely?
Oh, yeah, like probably maybe 5 minutes from me waking up to them getting here.
Oh, good.
But yeah, at first I see our security pull up and he's like, I can hear him talking on a radio. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, what was so interesting to me was like 3 fire trucks pull up. One of them is one of these big ladder trucks. Mm-hmm. And they're just wandering around trying to figure out where the fire is. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until near the end of the whole thing where we decided we could go back into the building, or they told us we could go back into the building, really, that they looked like they had any idea what had happened. And it seems like it was just somebody screwing around. But that was hectic, and it was a change of pace.
Yeah, I'm glad that everybody got to
least.
Test their fire readiness skills.
Mm-hmm. I was amazed at like our infrastructure.
I think that if I were here, just full disclaimer for all you creatives, that together we would have managed to get the hard drives out. One person would have gotten Cooper, one person would have gotten the hard drives.
You would have had a completely different thought process than me.
Yeah.
Like you would have been grabbing... Yeah, you would have grabbed the hard drives.
Get
and the
our
Drobo
social security cards.
Right. You gotta get insurance. You're making phone calls to insurance companies. I'm like, there's not even a fire. I don't care. We probably need to call insurance for some reason.
We just need to call them anyway.
Okay. 14-hour flight. How was the first 14-hour flight that you've ever experienced?
Not that bad.
Okay.
I had bougie seats.
Good job.
Which were very nice. So that was fantastic, and I slept really, really well. I was kind of nervous for the flight because I didn't want to be tossing and turning the entire time. So for all you travel nerds, little hack, bring some chamomile tea. And 9 times out of 10, you'll have a Starbucks in the airport, and they just give you a cup of hot water for free. Bring some honey packets and get yourself ready for bed. So I brushed my teeth right before getting on the flight, and then I made my tea, and I was just ready. And I went to sleep, and it was so good.
And I believe it's pretty easy to get hot water on a plane, too.
Yeah.
So you could probably bring like a whole box of tea.
Yeah.
Bags.
The only thing is
make tea all night long.
Like the airport, like the airline stewardess, they were extremely nice, but I feel like I would have to like explain. Like it would be kind of weird to like, hey, can I have some hot water? Just because they spoke primarily Mandarin, but they did speak very good English. On the way back, I got a little bit motion sick, which happens on the plane. whenever you're flying for an extended period of time. So I knew that was a potential. I think it was because I did not have enough water in my system. So I like ripped the like sleeping masks
That generally
off.
creates issues.
Yeah. So like the flight was really not that bad. I watched a movie. I didn't get any editing done, which is okay. But the flight back, I was pretty
Was there a
efficient.
moment where you felt like, 'cause I always, if I'm on a plane for 3 hours, by hour 2, I'm feeling pretty jumpy in the plane.
No, I didn't feel that.
Do you even normally struggle with that at all?
Sometimes.
Okay.
And I thought that I would, but honestly, I think not being so confined really made a difference.
There's probably like a mental element of, instead of 3 hours, I have an hour left. It's like, I got 10 hours left, so I should probably get a little bit comfortable.
Yeah, I think if we like travel to Asia anytime together, we probably get the fancy seats. If we travel to Europe, honestly, it's not that bad. I don't think because the flight from JFK to New York is like 5 hours.
I'm legitimately nervous about a 14-hour flight, especially if we don't get nice seats.
Well, that's why I say we get nice seats.
Yeah, like I'm...
Save up a couple extra $100.
I just don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know how my body's going to react to that.
James is not the best traveler. He's kind of bougie.
Well, I can't for one, I can't sleep on planes. It's hard for me to sleep anywhere other than a bed at night when it's time to go to bed. Like I haven't taken a nap in like 2 years. I don't know how. My body won't let me do it. So on
Dude,
planes,
you're going to be so screwed when you have kids.
I know. On planes, it's like, I don't really know how to cope with that. And there's a point where I'm just like, I just want to slap people in the head as they walk, like flail my arms around. That's what my body feels like it needs to do.
If you guys are watching the video version of this, James is moving his arms around like a lunatic and I'm just staring at him.
It could be a GIF. You should make a GIF out of that.
Okay, probably
so
won't.
you were there to film for Sarah.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
let's start freaking talking about
let's talk
actual
about some creative
substance
stuff.
because like I'm getting tired of listening to
Now,
us speak.
Sarah, what's her astrological sign?
A Leo.
She's a Leo 'cause she's
Yeah.
born in August, right?
Yeah.
Wait, are we born on the same day? I feel like I remember that happening.
She's a week before you. That's the only reason that I know.
Okay.
That's the only reason that I know Sara Dietschy's birthday is her birthday is a week before yours. I think it's either the 11th or the 12th. It's probably the 12th, but I'm not sure.
Who am I born on the same day as?
Like every other person on the
There's
internet.
somebody. Our
John
friend
Prosser,
Austin.
Jay. James shares a birthday with like a bunch of people.
Very strange.
What's his name?
August 19th. Anybody else? August 19th out there?
Saxophone president.
94. Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Bill Clinton.
Saxophone president.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were filming for Sara Dietschy.
Yeah.
And
that was really fun.
so you were a little bit nervous about this.
Yeah,
going
and
into
honestly, the video is probably not going to be that good. Sorry, Sarah.
Cool.
But thanks for inviting me.
Cool. Yeah, I had fun.
Sarah is just another level, and I think it's important to push yourself to that other level and surround yourself with people on that other level, but it made me nervous because I thought that I was going to under deliver. And she told me there was a point where she was like, Christina, you just need to chill.
Yeah.
Like, just like go with the flow. It's like, okay, Sarah, I love you. What? Yeah.
So you were nervous going into it. As you were filming, what did you struggle with as you were filming? And was it different than what you thought you would struggle with?
Knowing what I was supposed to film. So there is an aspect of mind reading that is involved. Going, like sitting next to Sarah going, okay, does she need me to film this? What does she need me to film? What kind of thing? Like, should I be doing more B-roll? Should like back and forth stuff. And I didn't quite know the vision that she had for the video. So there was a lot of what I was filming that...
She's like, I just need a lot of Dutch angles. Can you just turn it 45-degree angle at all times?
So that was interesting. And whenever she would grab the camera to film...
which she can do forcefully sometimes, I've heard.
No.
Not like she like attacks you, but I feel like I've heard you say that if she needs the camera, she'll grab it and do what she needs to do.
Yeah, but I wouldn't describe it as forcefully. I just think that she grabs the camera.
Okay.
Same, like, she knows exactly what she wants, so she'll just, like...
Okay. But there's no, like, excuse me. Like, it's...
Well, I mean, it's her camera.
Maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's her camera, but I guess what
James, not everyone is aggressive.
What?
Okay? No,
I think she's
it's
aggressive,
not,
but
it's
you've
not,
told me this before,
I
right?
don't think I've told you that.
Okay, maybe I made it up.
Maybe you heard it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But no,
She
just
punches reporters in the face, right?
Yeah, like black eyes live everywhere.
Black guys?
I knew that you were going to think I said that. I said black eyes.
Black eyes. I legitimately didn't know what you said.
This is what I mean, guys. Like, I'm just so tired of him. I'm going
back. She punches reporters in the face. Black guys live everywhere.
Stupid. Are you okay? No. So it was really good. And I would watch her film whenever she would grab the camera, and that would tell me what she was needing to be filmed. So the first day or so was kind of confusing, but no, overall it was really good. It was so fun to like watch these big creators like kind of hit a stride collectively in the room. I think across all the creators there was like 23 million subscribers, which is cool. It's just like a kind of a, what's the word, like a glory number kind of,
right,
but
clout, of clout,
just a bunch of clout in the room.
A whole bunch of clout in
one of the nicest people was probably one of the biggest YouTubers there, Austin Evans. He is so nice, very personal. He like asks you about yourself, probably because everybody knows about him.
He looks like a friendly guy.
He's a really friendly dude.
Yeah, he doesn't like he's getting into any of that James Charles drama.
No, but there were some conspiracy theories that like we could totally change like the tech industry right now by making some drama.
Whoa.
Like,
Tech tea.
Tech tea.
Oh my God.
Tech tea Tuesday, baby. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Okay. Now, did you hold the camera steady? People struggle to hold the camera steady when they're just learning how to film, and Christina's not just learning how to film, but that's one of the things I see with filmers. And so I always tell you, hey, make sure if you do anything, hold the camera steady.
I held the camera steady, but I did a lot of going back and forth between, I need B-roll of this, I need B-roll of this. So I think I needed to just slow down and just like capture.
Filming is about prioritization.
Yeah. But, whatever. It's fine. And then I did a lot of editing for that video. So essentially what I was there for was to help her film and turn over on deliverables. So she had to, I don't know if she just had deliverables. She had several Instagram stories that she had to make. She had some videos, some static posts, what they call them. So I was there to just make her life easier and kind of be an extra set of hands.
Was there something that you were particularly inspired by, but with her or any of the other people you were hanging out with there?
OMG, yes.
Okay.
So much.
I asked a good question.
Yeah.
I'm a good journalist.
Yay.
Give me a Pulitzer.
Is that like a prize?
Yeah.
That was sarcasm.
It's literally called the Pulitzer
I know,
Prize.
that was sarcasm.
It's like a prestigious award that people get when they achieve journalistic feats.
Yes.
You ever heard of it?
James, sarcasm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So I really liked watching other creators in their element. I'm obsessed with this kind of stuff. Like number one, I love helping people be more efficient. And number two, I like watching how other people do things. So I like watching how other people organize their files on their computer. And specifically on this trip, I got to see how other people make videos. And it doesn't seem like yes, I'm like they do think hard about it, but in the middle of it, when it's time to turn on the camera and start speaking and like review this new Dell XPS with a, I think it was like an i10 processor and blah, 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 blah. It was just so fluid. And I thought that was really, really cool. Like this one guy, Tom the Tech Chap, super, super cool dude. While we were filming something at the Dell event, he was filming something, and you actually can see his video. I'm in the background of like the entire thing. And somebody commented, "Is that Sara Dietschy?" I just commented yes in the chat, or not chat, but the whatever YouTube comment section thing is called now. So I loved watching other people,
the dumpster fire
of YouTube, watching their workflow and seeing how I can implement that in my workflow. And part of what my consensus is I just need to do it more.
Yeah.
Like
practice.
I need to do it more, but at the same time, I don't want to like do daily vlogs or something like that.
You know how like soil builds up over time on Earth? and so you have these layers of, and you can trace back through time the soil layers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of how it works if you're building a mountain of your YouTube channel, for example,
Mm-hmm.
where as you go up, you have this soft soil that's crumbly and not so refined, and it's not a solid rock to stand on.
Okay.
Or something like that. And then it builds up to the top of them. I think that that's how mastery works, is like you build these layers until you get higher and higher and better at your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then building this analogy as I go. But you see people, when you see people like them do it so fluidly and so easily,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they've spent hours and hours and hours saying that same sentence over and over and over.
Yeah.
And stringing paragraphs together about technology over and over and over,
Mm-hmm.
so that when they show up to this thing, it's even though it might still, I'm sure they're still struggling with things in their head.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure they're still thinking about it nonstop and how they can do better.
Yeah.
But even though that's happening at probably a similar level to what it happened, 2 years ago for them,
Mm-hmm.
they're better. They're operating on a higher level.
So another thing that I noticed from Sarah, so whenever she has videos where like she has a lot of details and a lot of letters and numbers and dashes to say, like, I9H714.
It's just tough.
It's a lot. She actually will have a script. And if she messes up on something, she stays, I would say positive. Like mentally, she might be on fire and going like, crap, I need to get this phrase out. But she does a lot of like self-talk. It's like, it's okay, we can do this.
Right.
Clap, clap, clap. Like she'll clap her hands and stuff. And I just think it's funny.
And
I like that because a lot of times what will happen for me is I'll stress out and I'll go, this is just horrible. This entire video is bad. I just need to just go home.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of keeping that momentum of like, it's all right, we got to do, like, I need to do this one phrase. Let's do it. Woo.
And I think for anybody out there who's listening or watching that has not made a lot of, let's just say, videos
Mm-hmm.
and put them online, what is happening on the outside is if you're decent, if you're a decent presenter, which is an art form, and when you see people on television or on YouTube and they're being presenters,
Mm-hmm.
it is an art form and it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. What's happening on the outside is they look easy going. They're just having a good time. They're just flowing. It's like, you can tell even if they mess up on something,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. They'll just go to another topic. No big deal. We're having a good time. On the inside, they're like, because the second...
RIP headphone users.
I'm sorry. The second they can't find the next word,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people, like it's this hardcore event that's happening in your head. It's very
Mm-hmm.
intense, and the best presenters know how to not show that.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they're panicking on the inside, they know how to not let that overtake them, and they know how to not show that panic, and that's really hard. To do well.
Yeah. I think that is a good point. Good job, James. High five.
Thanks.
I think the podcast is a
That's
good
why
example
whenever
of-
you, and I'm sorry, whenever people sorry, I just wanted to touch on this. Whenever you see people who don't normally make YouTube videos end up in a video, or whenever you see, here's another example, whenever you see people at like conferences, developer conferences, or like video game conference, or like an Apple conference, they get up on stage and they're not used to presenting. That's when you see the difference. That's when you see the contrast. And that everybody can't do this so easily.
Right.
So they don't know what to do with their hands.
We were also...
They don't know what to say next.
We were also like front row at the Intel keynote, which was like a big deal. Like imagine being on the front row of like the Apple keynote. It wasn't as big as Apple, but you get my point. It was really exciting.
Intel, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So they obviously had a script, and they had different people come on stage, and like they're reading the script. The Intel guy was really good. I think he was like chief something officer. So he was
Did he speak fluent English?
He was American.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but because Intel's an American, it's a U.S. company. It's based in Silicon Valley. But so he was really good, and then he had people come on stage, and like it was really good. The Dell keynote was so cringy. Like I'm sure I can say whatever I want because neither one of them pay me money. So I will tell you my full thoughts.
There goes that prospect sponsorship with Dell that we're going after in the future.
Hey, watch out. Actually, side note, Dell XPS 15, the new 2-in-1 is actually a really interesting laptop.
So they're paying you to say that, right?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
no, but it is really interesting.
You can't
laptop.
disclose to me that they're paying you because that's in the contract.
Sure, James.
Like you can't tell your significant other that we're paying you, but just throw in like just in daily conversation, you guys are eating lunch or
as he falls asleep,
getting your oil changed.
As he falls asleep, just whisper XPS 15.
I know. Hey, by the way, James, you know the Dell XPS 15 has the A54 chip and
okay,
processor.
So are you done?
Yes.
Thank you. So the XPS 15 is actually an interesting computer to me. I don't want to really make the switch right now because Apple, get it together. But the Dell keynote guy, it was more of a press conference than a keynote, and it was just so cringy. And he was Asian, and let's just say that he was Taiwanese, but he was like stereotypical Asian. Like he clapped his hands really fast, and I think he was like an acting school kid that, I mean, he was a grown man, but he was like an acting school guy that just needed a gig, and they were like, you're in our budget. It was just
okay.
Don't invite him back.
Interesting. I'll have to see. Was it recorded? I'll have to see this.
I'll show you some clips.
Okay.
But
good.
There were so many like moments where I just looked at.
I think what I don't like more than anything is the people who get up and they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to respond to the awkwardness that's happening in the room.
Yeah.
I love presenters that embrace the awkwardness.
No, he just the awkwardness was from him, and he just did not.
Like if something goes wrong in the demo, right? What you want is somebody who gets up on stage and goes, "Oh, isn't this funny? This wasn't supposed to happen."
Yeah.
Point it out. But you'll have people who are like, yeah, we're just having some technical difficulties here. You know. Yeah.
No, overall, I think both presentations were pretty good. I preferred the Intel one more. The Intel one was like a bigger event than the Dell, but the Dell press conference was still okay. It just, there were those little moments where I was like, what is this guy doing?
So presenting is an art form, and do it over and over and over to get good at it. Yes.
With that said, James, I'm gonna throw a rink in our crinky.
Oh my gosh.
So just go with what I say. Don't ask any questions. Just go with the flow.
What's gonna hurt on my body when you say this?
Everything.
Oh.
Yeah. But this concludes our first part of the podcast where we talk about Taipei and stuff. That was a rink in my crinky. Yep, that's a rink in your quinky. And then tomorrow we're going to share the second half where we actually talk about creative things as opposed to just my experience and all sorts of things. So if you came here and you were disappointed, sorry.
Are we ending the podcast right now?
We're ending this episode.
Whoa.
And we're going to continue on with the next episode. We're not even going to skip a beat. So thank you guys so much for listening. Come back tomorrow for all your creative juices.
Bye, guys. Hope you don't have a rink in your crinky today.
Bye.